On January 31st, 1988 in San Diego, Super Bowl 22 celebrated with hundreds of showgirls and more balloons than anyone had ever seen. Almost lost in the pageantry were the players. Number 7, John Elway, was the Denver Broncos quarterback, and Jay Schroeder, number 10, had started all season for the Washington Redskins. But in the playoffs, Washington coach Joe Gibbs switched to a nearly forgotten veteran from Zachary, Louisiana, named Doug Williams. Number 45, Broncos cornerback Steve Wilson, knew what was at stake.
The big news in Super Bowl interviews that week was the fact that Doug was a black quarterback and not so much that he was a Super Bowl quarterback.
10 years later, Doug Williams returned to Washington as first-year head coach of Morehouse College. Steve Wilson was on the other side again as head coach of Howard University. Same man, different atmosphere.
Black college football is very special in that there's pageantry, but there's also a personal touch. You have people cooking, you have people visiting. If I'd known, I'd had a catfish plate waiting for you.
Seeing the band and him tune those horns up and you out in the field, I would find it hard to be stopped on that football field. I mean, that would be something to play for. The cheerleaders turning flips on me. Oh my God, let me wipe the sweat off my forehead.
Really, Doug had come in and really stirred, I think, some other things with the game. The fact that the media had come out and really embraced him being in Washington for the first time, coaching a football team.
10 years ago, getting old. That ride from Lawrence Welk Resort to the stadium that day, I played my whole career on that bus ride. I tell you, it was a whole lot on my mind. My hometown is Zachary, Louisiana, a little small town. I was thinking about my daddy who was unable to make the game because of being in a wheelchair and wondering what was going through his mind. To know that something was about to happen that has never happened, something that would never happen again in life. I don't care how you cut it up, there will never ever be a first black quarterback to play in the Super Bowl again. And I was it. What we cannot afford to do, what we have done, we cannot give it to them. This is homecoming for them. All the alumni is back here, and they pumped up. That's why they invited you for homecoming, because they think it's easy.
I think now, with him opening this new chapter, coaching, it gives him an opportunity to continue to develop his own legacy. His performance on that day in San Diego was so profound that it actually changed the mindset of a lot of people in this industry. We anticipated the first quarter being one where we knew on offense we were going to be very aggressive. Actually, the first play of the game, the first time that John touched the football, he put it up for a touchdown to Ricky Nattil. And we looked up at the scoreboard and it was 10-0, and we said to ourselves, this isn't enough, and we didn't know the next 7-8 minutes would change the history of pro football.
I have to look at it realistically. 2 weeks earlier, we was down 14-0 in frigid Chicago, and we came back and won. So to be down by 10 points in 85 degrees against a team that we felt we matched up real well physically, I don't think that was any worry.
It's going to be first down, Coach. Come on, Lamont!
Well, I tell you what, I certainly admire what Steve has done and doing, and I envy Steve for what he has done because he's done it right, because he's doing what I would love to do, and that's to put a successful program together. I didn't envy the day we played the Super Bowl. I tried to take advantage of it. And that field was a little soft and a little loose. And just so happened when I went back to pass, my right foot just planted and that grass just slid away and I had no control over it. I'm saying to myself, I was kind of afraid to get up because I felt like if I got up, something really bad could be wrong.
I remember Jay Schroeder coming in the game and us saying in the huddle, let's go after him. And our defensive intensity picked up and a few blitzes were called, and we actually did a real good job while he was in the game.
I did have a bit of taste in my mouth towards Jay Schroeder because of one thing he did the year before. It was a championship game against the New York Giants, and he got knocked out the game, and he got up, and I was on my way into the ball game, and he waved me off the field. And I said to myself, and when I got hurt in the Super Bowl, I started it, and I was going to finish it, and my ultimate goal was to not let Jay Schroeder play in that game.
Doug Williams came back in the game on the first play of the second quarter and began the most remarkable performance in Super Bowl history. During the next 18 plays, Washington gained 243 yards and scored 5 touchdowns.
I don't care who's playing the game. I mean, you can go get the best of the best and put them all together against the worst team in football, and you wouldn't expect that type of second quarter. You know, it's one of those things that when things start happening, it was happening so fast that you couldn't get a grip on it. And I'm sure if I was on the other side of the coin, if I was with Denver, I'd still be wondering, what in the world happened that day?
There were so many big plays that were back to back to back that we were really just kind of swinging in the wind.
In the second quarter, when I think after about the third TD pass, Jake Jacoby walked up to me and he said, Doug Williams, he said, black, green, blue, or yellow, he said, you our quarterback.
Something came over us that wasn't normal, almost something mythical and magical. And for 5 minutes, you know, the world turned on us and that we had no control over it. It was almost like you were unconscious for a moment, and then you woke up and there were 35 points on the board.